Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes. No signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. Just black and white. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, 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 oh. Just black and white. Black and white.
Red Lobster's new menu is full of fresh drops, like a Baja shrimp bowl loaded with fresh flavors, a new Godzilla sandwich, and 15 dishes under $20. So it's a great day for Red Lobster and honest to good seafood.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Here we go.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the NA Spawn. As you guys can tell, today we have Tectonic and Zim with us. And Tech, I gotta say, you gotta be feeling pretty good right now, coming off of another Mobile Mayhem season win with the boys over at NYSL Mayhem.
Yeah, that was the first one, like the first true win. Like the first one technically was by DQ, but we never really won it, in my opinion.
Zim, I bet you as the coach, you gotta be feeling pretty happy with that one as well.
Dude, zoom my face out. Holy
Zoom your face out.
Yeah, man, look at the double channel, man.
All right, hold on, I got
Good
you.
Lord, that picture is
Got you.
horrible.
Hey, you're the one that sent this picture, okay?
Yeah, I zoom it out, dude. Jeez.
Is that better? You happy with that?
I can't see it, but just get the whole Zim on the rock.
The whole Zim on the
frame.
rock?
Yeah, man, get the frame.
All right, I got you.
Jeez, my face. Look at the triple chin. I got the Peter Griffin balls. Good
This guy.
Lord.
You will live, Zim.
But that looks that way because of how I shaved my beard that particular trip. If I didn't shave it to the draw, it would have looked more full and not as bad. But anyway, no, it was a good season. We finally had some long-term success. Regardless, a lot of the competition this season was really rough, so there was really only a couple of teams that were really ever going to be in the mix. But I mean, that's what it is every single season, regardless of if there's lots of competition or not. You end up in the playoffs where only a couple teams are in the mix anyway. So we were able to grab it this time, and Explicit's a great team, so I think that they'll have lots of success in Stage 4.
Yeah, definitely. Is that Leon?
Yeah. So,
We do have a couple of the other players of NYSL hanging out with us too, guys. they'll be joining us for a little bit at the beginning. So if you
Yeah,
have questions, everybody's
quick,
here.
real quick, can I say something?
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Explicit. If it wasn't for Saxy and Snipes, I wouldn't have never gotten my first Mobile Mayhem win. I appreciate them for going triple negative. It means a lot to me. You know, it took 2 years, and it wouldn't be possible without them. They're the real MVPs. All right.
Maybe a little toxic. Maybe a little bit toxic.
A little toxic.
All right, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
That's Leon for you.
All right, that's it. Drop the mic. I'm out.
All right, well, guys, that's Leon as to be expected. I think we've also got Little B in the call with us.
All right, all we want to say is that shout out to Zim for being fat, running 30-minute mile, and yeah, that's it.
All right,
I kind of seen that coming. I'll be honest.
We're gonna pop this transition and see if Zim feels better about his picture, guys.
What?
All right, there you go, Zim. It's updated for you. We got the whole Zim on the rock.
Let's get it. Dope. Let's get it.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a shook-up season. I feel like coming into the Mobile Mayhem season, a lot of people out there really thought, hey, Tribe is the only good team in North America. Obviously, you guys were struggling a little bit. A lot of the other rosters that we expected to be good were struggling. And I actually feel like it was a pretty big hindrance that, like, for example, Stage 3 was done off-cam because, you know, I sat there and was telling people every week, I'm like, you know, you guys got to keep in mind, you know, NYSL literally just beat Tribe, you know, at the time last week or whatever in Stage 3. And I feel like you guys got slept on a lot throughout the season. I feel like you guys and Explicit specifically / Arsenal, I feel like they got slept on pretty heavily. I think I heard from Bobby earlier saying that Truly got their first scrim in since Masters, which is pretty wild, and apparently they were keeping up with Tribe there as well. So I think Stage 4 coming up here in a couple weeks should be pretty exciting, but you know.
Yeah, they got Robalo now, don't they?
I'm the future Cabo champ.
Truly got Robalo?
Yeah, Truly got Robalo.
Interesting.
Oh, wait, who'd they drop?
Who
was on the
Solid.
Solid?
If I was to guess, it would be Solid.
That's probably best case scenario. I mean,
Interesting.
Okay.
Do you guys know how Robalo's doing on phone as of late? Because I know he was struggling with it for a while.
I don't know if he's on the Xperia or what, but I know he's in Truly.
Yeah, if they just added him, it's gonna take him a little bit to get the Xperia, but regardless, he'll be okay, you know. He was an iPad primary for a really long time. And then I think he had a little run when he was on phone for a little bit, but he'll be okay. He'll be good.
Definitely should lead to some fun excitement. I mean, do you guys have any information on like what the Explicit roster looks? I know they were only allowed to make one roster substitution, so even
I think
picking
Molly
up
joined them.
Molly?
Yeah, Molly.
Or whatever. Yeah, I think it's Molly from the Arsenal roster. So it would be, what would it be? It would be like Solo, Snipes, Molly.
I can actually pull up their old roster. Hang on 1 second.
Lucifer,
and Veteran.
I think Veteran went to ARP, if I recall.
I don't know. I just know that those guys for sure. Molly, Lucifer, Snipes, and Solo, and then whoever they get as their fifth and nut.
Yeah, their roster before. Oh no, it's taken off of the sheet here, I think. Oh no. So they had Envious, Modzy, Lucifer, Eludify, Claps, Solo.
Yeah, that kid too, Eludify.
That'll be.
What happened to the Clap kid?
I don't know.
Claps or whatever.
He was on their roster, but I don't think we ever really saw him play, did we?
That sounds like a completely different roster than what I'm expecting.
Let me look at the image.
Solar, Lucifer, Snipe, Solo, Molly.
Yeah, Solar.
Oh yeah, Solar.
Yeah, Solar and Sunny.
Forgot about Solar. He should be on the roster for sure.
Okay.
I think Sunny got dropped as well.
Solo, Snipes, Veteran, Sunny, Lucifer, Solar. So only one of them could get dropped. Well, you see Veterans on this team, so unless he definitely joined ARP, they wouldn't be able to kick him and replace him and pick up another player. So regardless, they would have to just pick up one. I don't know how that works.
Let me look real fast.
If Veteran's on ARP now, I would just assume it's Molly for Veteran, and you keep the rest because you can't change anymore outside of that.
Well, it has veteran on the explicit roster, so maybe they kept veteran. I don't know why he's still subbed in for ARP, but Rabalo has truly role up in the Discord. So
Well, I mean, ARP's stupid if they're letting veteran play with them. That's cringe. It's super cringe. If he's actually on the explicit roster and they're letting him play with him, I mean that sounds like an ARP problem. But yeah,
Is there brackets out available yet for
no,
any of those games? No.
no, but
Two
you can
two
pretty
weeks
much
out from
make one.
competition.
You can make one from the.
From
You
this,
can make one
yeah,
from the stage 3.
yeah.
I actually have it. Hold up.
I just
China.
didn't
yeah,
know
we
if
play like Tribe second round, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they like officially put anything out. And
No,
based on
but
looking at a
this
lot of the
one.
rosters, I would say you guys don't have a difficult path to securing a world spot, right? Like your guys realistically with the rosters the way
Oh,
they stand, your biggest competition is going to be truly if they're playing as good as they did last season, and
but
Tribe if they can.
we play Tribe second round.
But you
What
guys
do you
then
mean?
go to losers bracket, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean,
Who said
what?
we losing?
I don't.
Yeah,
Well,
excuse me?
well, no, I'm saying if you were
Good
to
job,
lose
Dick.
there.
Good
Well,
job, Dick.
Hey, hold
I,
on,
I
hold on, hold on.
I'm saying, look,
Now
you
I know
guys
what
came
side you're
through.
really on, and we don't have to have this
My
conversation
my
anymore.
point is, you guys brought up that you played Tribe in the second round, right? Like, yes,
Yeah.
that's not obvious. That's obviously not a pushover team, but like, no matter what happens there, because I think they are one of your biggest competitions. Even if you guys were to lose in that round, I don't really see anybody in the losers bracket at that point stopping you guys from coming back up and securing a spot, right? Like that's.
So why are we
Yeah.
why are we talking as if we're gonna lose in that round?
Well, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying like I don't think with the teams that have made it through with the rosters they have, I don't think you guys have any competition that you guys are realistically in a difficult position.
Well, explicit's still good. They were, well, actually, I don't know. Uh, they're
I
one of the
don't
better teams that are
I
in the
don't
tournament.
think I don't think the stage 4 explicit roster is as good as the
Yeah, no,
Mobile Mayhem explicit roster by any stretch of the
no,
imagination though.
but I think that that teams in the tournament, they're still one of the better teams. Uh, truly, again, like nobody ever knows because they just don't play. So they can definitely on any given day be one of the best teams, and they can definitely be one of the teams that are easily just forgotten about. So it really just depends on how well they play. I would say the first day, and if they're scrimming now again. But I mean, they've got good players on their roster, so I would assume that they're going to be a team that could qualify for sure. Tribe already qualified, so at this point they're playing knockout, and any win that
Basically.
they any win that they get, winners or losers. In fact, they might. If Tribe really wants to play knockout, it would probably be best for them to lose on purpose. I'm not planting seeds or anything, but if they were to lose and just go to the losers bracket just to purely knock teams out, they could do that and not be punished at all. The only thing that they have to play for at this point is prize
Prize
pool.
pool, right?
So
Yeah.
that's something that I would consider, quite honestly, if we were in their position. Not lose on purpose, but not be upset if you dropped into it because of the opportunity you have there. So they're in a really unique spot because they get to just ruin people's goals.
Days.
Yeah, just ruin entire people's years.
Do
Uh,
we do we know anything realistically about Destiny official gaming?
no,
No.
their
I
last year's
never
Gene,
even heard of him.
their last year's Gene Gaming, except at least those kids like kind of streamed on Trovo a little bit, and you saw a couple of them in some of the like super amateur tournaments. But like these kids are like legitimately have no idea who they are ever. Never
I'm
heard
in
of them.
such a position where I feel so bad for AR that they got knocked out just by honestly bad planning
It's
by
rough.
game
Yeah.
battles.
They could have won.
Just to potentially see
Yeah.
another bad batch situation, right? And I don't think that's anybody's
I don't
goal
think these
to.
kids are as bad as Bad Batch, but I think that well, these kids are like ranked kids from what I hear. I've tried to figure out some stuff about them, but they're like ranked kids. Ranked kids, they're bad, but they're still not like Bad Batch kids. Like, oh, that was bad. That was just different. Uh, but no, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see, but There's a
There's
couple teams. It feels
definitely
bad
a
for Arsenal.
ginormous skill difference between your
Yeah.
top competitive teams and teams that are pub stompers. Uh, I, if you watch any of the content creators here on Trover for COD Mobile, I mean, you get into
Yeah.
some legendary matches and you're just like, what is this kid doing? And it, you know, obviously there's going to be good players and there's going to be bad players, but Tech over here repping his
Yeah.
NYSL shirt.
Yeah, I seen Martiax. So, but yeah, it is a subliners hoodie.
It definitely should be a fun stage 4 coming up. There's definitely some good teams to be on the lookout for. I think a lot of people are looking forward to seeing Truly. I'm sure you guys will probably have scrims with them between now and then because
Yeah,
I don't know, it feels like they've procrastinated quite a bit, and you're getting down into that crunch time of 2 weeks. So I don't know. I've slept on them quite a bit. Chat has given me quite a few knocks on the head, like, "Oh, you're forgetting Truly." But again, I can't consider a
Truly's like
team
a
that.
wild card.
Yeah, I can't really consider a team that doesn't have practice put in. Like you could argue they came in with the same kind of disadvantage to Masters and still did well, but with all the work that I see you guys putting in and teams like ARP and Explicit Tribe, I just feel like it's going to be a really tough battle for them having not put that level of teamwork in because the rest of North America is grinding. The rest of North America is looking to fight for that spot and fight for that large prize pool. So
I feel like if anyone could do like a major upset, it'd be like Truly. Just key reason, that roster for the most part has been together for nearly 2 years since like last
Forever.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
Their
together
core
for a
has
long
been
time.
their core has been together as long as ours has. Oh, maybe longer actually, because truly they were like they were amateur together, and
Hmm.
they went, I guess, quote unquote, you can say pro together for the for the large part. Tip Gamer and Solid and another one of them, way back when we started the first Omen tournament with Bobby and Sylvia, the Omen Challenger Series, and they were under a different team name at the time, CBK, I think it was. What was it?
Yeah.
It was
I
something
think
like
I
that.
think it was
Yeah, that
CBK. That little
yeah,
small
that
org.
entire team, because Hacks was on that team. They had some people, but they've been together forever. Uh, Definitely, yeah. Now that I think of it, definitely longer because that team has always been kind of the same. And then shortly after that team, that tribe roster with Tech and Little B and Narrow and them formed, and that core has been together up to this point too. So I'd say the most senior of the teams there is definitely truly us, and then probably like I don't know, probably I don't think it's tribe third. Uh, it's another team, but the tribe people have been together for a little bit too. So we've definitely got a championship coming up where people are familiar with each other, and it's gonna be good. Do you really think that truly winning anything would be an upset? I don't think it would be an upset at
No,
all.
I feel like with the amount of time that like they're just
Oh,
starting practice again, right? After Masters, it's been about like what, a month and a half?
yeah. I mean, but can
maybe
you?
2 at this
But is it
point.
still really like upsetting considering that they've always done this? Like,
I
eh,
mean,
yeah.
I feel like so let's say Truly versus ARP. ARP puts in the time, like hours and hours and hours. Like imagine they lose to Truly. Like you know how much of an upset that would be for them?
Yeah, no, you're
Like
right.
like just mentally, right?
There's not a team
I,
in the game right now that plays more than ARP.
No, seriously,
Just
dude, they put in a lot of time.
they
they
put
do.
in stupid amounts of time, and it's like, and I've been saying this recently to our guys, but like time spent doesn't necessarily mean results. And I always point at ARP when I say that because they scrim. They get their shit wiped by a team right after scrim, right after VOD. And it's like, you don't even know if you're VODing correctly. You don't know if you're scrimming correctly. You don't know if you're practicing by yourself correctly, but you're doing it so much. So, like, if you're them and you're just putting that much time into maybe things that are really bad for you, and then you lose, like that just seems to me like a recipe for career-ending mental problems before COD Mobile even really takes off. But I totally agree with what Brian's saying. That would be fucking horrible. If I was them, I wouldn't know what to do with myself with that much time spent.
Yeah, I've
I,
definitely been one to have criticized them a bit. And Tech, I know you'll probably be able to chime in on this too. That sometimes playing too much can be really bad for your mental health and can actually
Yeah,
have a counter effect, right? You get to the
yeah,
point where you're burnt out, and then all that work you put in, and you're just burnt out, and you show up in a bad mood or whatever the case may be, and that can be just as devastating of a factor. So I definitely think people have to learn where to balance their time, when it's okay to say, hey, let's take a break, let's take the night off.
yeah,
Because I chill in Zia stream. I don't have anything against anybody on ARP. You know, I go in there and lurk a lot, and they're playing and they're playing and they're playing, and by like
yeah,
the end of the stream, it's like you can feel the frustration to a degree that like they're just so tired of playing, or at least a couple of them are. So.
yeah. I mean,
oh,
we
definitely.
were in that kind of boat not too long ago too, where we were playing. What kind of hours were
Like
we playing? We were playing like
5, 6 hours a day.
6 hours, seven
Not
hours.
even on top of like what everyone like streaming hours.
Yeah, and that's just like every day. We were doing that every day, and this was before we said, hey man, let's have an off day every week, and they were doing all that before we had the off day. Then some of them were doing their own content stuff. They were playing other games. They were streaming, playing by themselves, ranking. We have some leaderboard people on our team that play a lot of leaderboard. So when the new update drops, they go crazy doing that. It's a lot of time, and we scaled that back a lot. And now I think we're a lot more comfortable with. We still don't want to not play like a good amount of time, but we're a lot more comfortable with 2, 3 hours of focused practice. And if we can
Productive.
accomplish, yeah, if we can accomplish productivity, but like not have the length, then we're okay with that. So we try to find spots in our days where we're like, okay, we're doing good. Let's try to do something else. And then as soon as it starts to like hit a wall, we're like, okay, we're done. Let's just end it on that and go on about our day. I think that for us, as we've kind of become more veteran and learned a little bit more, that's working for us. But for a team like ARP, they're always going to be like this until they win something or play something really high of note. Because when you're like quote unquote amateur or like really low level pro or like mid tier pro, all you want to do is like play, and like you confuse hunger for that, and it ends up being negative, like you said. But
Well, and I
I,
definitely want to
yeah,
point out something you said earlier, Zim, because time scrimming does not necessarily mean you're getting better if you're practicing bad habits, right? Like, there
right.
definitely needs to be for all the teams out there, right? Like you guys, Tribe, ARP, Explicit, doesn't matter who, right? Like, just as much time dedication as you have going um, into your actual scrims, you need a coach that's driven, that's going to review your VODs and be like, hey, guys, this game right here that you played, I really want some, break down a couple things and mention some things we can improve on. And with as much as ARP scrim, I just don't know how much VOD time they actually get in. So that's like one big thing. And also, I don't necessarily
ARP?
know if all of the other teams get as much like resources as you guys do, right? Like, Explicit is like a home org that I they may. I don't know how deep their line of leadership goes as far as
Well,
like a manager like that is reviewing VODs and really pushing the team like a coach and things like that.
well, I think there's a huge like misconception about us and the position, the very blessed position we happen to be in with
Yeah,
with
like we're
ISL
spoiled.
and stuff. Like we don't have a crazy amount of resources. So like the idea that we have a lot more than everybody else is very false. Like I do work with the team, but like day to day, and you can ask Brian, like it's really just me. Like Legacy handles stuff that is not game related for the team, like onboarding and document stuff. He works with Sylvia on it, but like we don't talk to the NYSL COD team. We have very limited access to the people from Overwatch, and they're like they're people who work with their teams. Like we are still very much independent and day to day. The one thing that we have access to that not a lot of teams have access to is like a really great ownership staff. Like Sylvia is with us all the time. Whereas like when we were on Tribe, and I have nothing bad to say about Tribe, because as far as when we were like there, towards the time when we were competing, Pat was there, but the difference between Tribe and like us is that Sylvia's a lot more accessible. She's always there. I have her personal cell. Everybody pretty much has her phone number. We have a direct line to talk to her. We can message her at any time. Like Tribe, Pat's a little bit more Pat's a little bit more of a process to get to, but that's literally the only thing we have that other teams don't. As far as ARP, they scrim a lot, but they've got a guy that tries to coach and tries to do VODs too, and Antox, and I would say they spend, just from what I've heard, just as much time reviewing their games as they do, if not more,
Well, that's
scrimming.
good.
So
That's good.
they definitely have a balance, but again, it's like how do you use that balance, and like are you actually reviewing and practicing in the right ways? Because they could be VOD reviewing, and I have no idea because I've never sat, but
Right.
they could be VOD reviewing, and what they're saying is like, yeah, we got to do this. This could be like totally just horseshit. It could be horrible, and either they'll never get better if that's the case. But yeah, they've got lots of stuff, and yeah, but yeah, I had to set that straight. This idea that we're like way more fucking fortunate than everybody else is super false. We're still very day to day.
Yeah, and I didn't like mean you guys have like this some ginormous advantage that just is uncompetable for a home org, right? Because that's not the case. But again, for some of the smaller teams, like I think Shred It would be like an example, right? Like I don't know how much time dedication they're putting into VOD review just based off of the resources they have, the consistency of people they have on the roster, right? So, I don't know. I definitely expect some good things for you guys, and some of the other top teams. And I do want to pick a question out, Tech, because it is one of our regular viewers for EU, NA, the Spawn, the whole shebang. I'm sure you've seen Lurker in chat before, so you can imagine where this question is going. But Lurker would like to know if there's any desire on your end of playing with like Slothy, Jez, any of them next year? Some of the guys that are getting rid of the turn 18.
Like it comes down to like what they feel. I'll be honest. That roster's been together. I was able to at a time join that roster back in the beginning of Tribe with the underage team. But I was looking forward to champs, so I really didn't make that move. For the most part, like next year, sure. I mean, if the roster works, I could try it out. But I mean, there's no guarantees because they also have to agree with it. I'm pretty sure that roster is going to happen no matter what. Just because the chemistry they had, the amount of wins they've obtained. But I mean, that roster looks good on paper. Like it'll be straight no matter what.
He asked a couple times, but we were in the middle of stuff, so I wanted to let some of that fly through first. There you go, Lurker. I wasn't ignoring you. I just trying to let everybody talk. So, I don't know if you've kept up, and this is a little off topic from NAZim, but have you heard any more through the grapevine on anything? And this could go for chat too, because Lurker, Bandit, I know you guys hang out in EU a lot. Do we know anything yet on like the whole oxygen stamina drama BS that was going on, or?
Esports Talk made a video reviewing it, and
I've been out of the house
they
all
blasted a
day.
whole bunch of stuff about it, but I don't know anything about that. Apparently it was not true, and now they confirmed it. Oxygen dropped the guy that made all the false accusations, apparently,
Yeah, learn.
and now they are trying to communicate with Activision and get the stuff reversed, but they don't know if that'll be actually possible. Here, I just linked it, and I'll link it in the chat as well for Trovo. This is the video that Esports Talk made on it. Esports Talk is a pretty big like cross-platform coverage show, I guess, and they talk about a lot of things. I don't know if you're familiar with like Jake Lucky, but this is like him. or like he'd cover
Gotcha.
stuff. And they have a huge platform. Esports talk has been around forever. They've got like 500,000 people. They talk about like Dr. Disrespect's bans and like drama alert type shit and CS:GO and Fortnite and a whole bunch of stuff. COD Mobile just got featured. And there's been a couple things that fucking COD Mobile could have been like blown up about, but this is the first one that I've seen that's gotten some serious coverage on YouTube from one of these platforms. But there it goes. You guys can look at it if you want.
I don't know if you ever had a
Uh,
chance to rewatch the how to put it, maybe like the explosive EU spawn that we had on Tuesday. I know you saw the clip and were like,
yeah,
"What
what
the
the fuck
hell
was that about?
happened there?" Um, I don't know. Imperium was
That was just
a
weird.
little bit spicy.
It was a little aggressive.
Yeah,
Just a
A
bit.
little
a
bit.
little aggressive.
Shit happens, I guess. I think Inferno took it really well despite everything going on, but yeah, I'm definitely I don't know. I'm definitely hoping they figure out what's going on over there because I feel real bad for the team over on Stamina. They were left in the dark for so long, just to, like at the last minute have someone come in and say, "Oh, by the way, we removed you." Like,
And I still
it's.
think that's fucked up, man.
Mhm.
I mean, I really feel like through all of this, if there's a lesson to be learned, it's that you must know your place at all times, regardless of like what's going on, how what your past is like. Like Stamina, I don't want to say this is super hot take here, but like Stamina has, from what I've heard, been on the end of the talk a lot of shit, not really showing up to a whole lot of stuff, DQ when they feel like it. It's kind of like arrogant type thing from the way that people are describing them to me whenever I hear about them. And I believe in karma. I don't think that this was in any way deserved because this is obviously false, and the people who were behind it need to not do that. That's fucked up. But if I'm them, I definitely take this as like a humbling thing where it's like at any point in time, whether I do the right thing or I do the wrong thing, opportunities can't be taken away from me. And when I have an opportunity, I need to make sure that I am doing everything that I can to see it through to the end. I think that I was watching some of the Mobile Mayhem stuff, and I saw that they had like DQ'd for 2 or 3 times in a row the playoffs of Mobile Mayhem, stuff like that, where it's like you think about the opportunities to play in big tournaments, tournaments that a lot of people put a lot of resources into. People, the mods, they work really hard to do that, and they just DQ it because they don't feel like playing or for whatever reason. And then you look at it from the size of that, and because it's smaller, you're like, okay, whatever. But then you look at this kind of opportunity, stage four, and it's again different circumstances, but then it just gets taken away from you, and it's equally as heartbreaking. So if I'm them, I'm just like, every single time I get an opportunity, I'm not trying to throw it away. So I hope that they humble up a little bit from this and they play through everything, but only time will tell.
Yeah, I definitely
Rooting
think
for
there's
Stamina, man.
Yeah, I want to see them. I definitely want to see them.
They're cool
Well,
guys. Like I scrimmed with them and I've played with them, like rank S and all that. Uh,
yeah.
they're not really assholes. You know, they're really chill
And
for the
again, like
most
I've
part.
never met any of them. I think the only person that I've ever spoken to, um, and it wasn't even like a conversation. I might have been like in a call with Angel one time with like a bunch of other people. So I've never spoken to them. Everything that I just said is purely off of what I've read in chats, what I've been told. So
Angel
I
quit
definitely
because of
know.
phone, didn't he?
Angel, I mean, I don't know. Like, isn't he young or whatever?
No, I'm pretty. I thought he was 18 plus. I thought he quit because of like phone or something.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I might have been yeah, I think it was him. But I've never spoken to them, so I can't speak on their character. I don't know. I can only say what I have heard and seen interactions with other people about them. But I wouldn't DQ. Just things that I'm in, Mobile Mayhem playoffs and stuff. Like
I
it's
mean,
just different. Maybe I'm a little
I can
biased.
understand them. You know, like you
Yeah,
got to think they were playing a team that really just ruined their chances and wasted a whole nother year of their life. You know, and then like
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't want to play Mobile Mayhem either if I had to play that team in particular. And on top of that, like there's still no update. Like, will I actually be playing champs or will I just be sitting on the sidelines watching? You know, like that's fucked up.
I
So
guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
Fortunately, I feel like that decision will get reversed. I haven't seen anything on it yet.
I hope so.
I was hoping someone's seen it, but um, you know,
I've never
when
seen
we
Activision double down and say, hey, we're wrong. At least not in COD Mobile. I have not seen them once, like, do something, get backlash from it, and then reverse it. So I don't know if
well,
they would do it. Hopefully this is a different kind of thing where they would, but
yeah, hopefully. I think it's really solid. With when I had Inferno on, he was mentioning that the actual like leadership of the Oxygen organization was working with them in the background, getting information that
that's
they
nice.
needed over to Activision. So I think that's super solid, right? Because
Yeah.
you know the leadership
Yeah.
at Oxygen just could have been, you know, they could have been like, all right, we're dropping leader and you know just fucking be done with it, right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's really cool that they opened that gateway and are sharing information and trying to help, you know, what's essentially some of their biggest competition moving forward, right? I mean that's a really big factor. You know, they could have just sat on the sidelines and been like, nope, that's one of our biggest teams we have to worry about. Let them get fucked. And they haven't done that. So huge shout out to the leadership of Oxygen. Also, kind of
Yeah.
keep in mind, guys, same thing Inferno said on Tuesday. It's not all of the players on Oxygen. There was a specific individual that made some horrendous decisions. So,
Well, that would be the same
You
thing
think
with
it?
Stamina, you know, because it was only Inferno technically, but then all of Stamina got DQ'd. So like,
well, it was Inferno and Ghoul.
and Ghoul,
Got
I didn't
yeah,
hear about Ghoul.
yeah.
There was something about like selling COD points or something, right?
A clout. He pulled a
I
clout.
heard one of them were selling COD points and violated the terms of service that way. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's
I
what I
don't
heard.
I don't
And I heard that with Ghoul, and
yeah
that's
I
why
don't
whatever happened with Ghoul
yeah I don't know all like
is what I was told.
the specifics,
Yeah, it's
but
really misty. It makes no there's not a lot of like clear info on it, and I don't think this video like covered the whole situation very well,
right.
uh but yeah, no. Do you think that um like as far as Oxygen goes, like that you would just punish the player? Because surely
I don't
I
think
have to
we'll
put like
ever
my
see that
mod
kid
I have to
again.
put like my mod cap on, but like if I was a mod or if I was one of the people like overseeing this, like if I was the arbiter of this problem, there's no shot that I would think it was just leader. Like I would accuse that entire team, and I would launch a serious investigation on whether or not the entire team knew or contributed to it, because that does not seem at all like one thing that just one person would pull off or try to do. That
Well,
seems a little
apparently a
more.
bunch of that occurred while he was drunk. You know, like what, like everything that was shown.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
again, like the video doesn't cover everything really well. But if it was just me with no context, I would be like, there's no way that only one person did that. Surely more people knew, and you would have to discipline more. But
I feel like leader got targeted because he just like instigated the whole Stamina bullshit. You know,
yeah,
Well,
like he
I
was
mean,
like free
but
win. You know,
yeah,
see you at Landova, like shit like that. You know, like just pissed off a bunch of people, and like
yeah.
that's why
And
he got targeted in
well,
particular.
it went
Lily
way
makes a
deeper
great
than that
point.
with him. It went way deeper than that with
Li
leader.
Lily makes a great point in the chat. She says drunk. What a great excuse. Like when you're an adult at this point,
Right.
if you're 18 plus, you're an adult. You should know a lot about responsibility and not fucking with people. Definitely not fucking with people's money, not fucking with people's opportunities. Like even if they're rivals, like I still would never do anything that would compromise another team's
It
health
makes the
or
game
team's
boring,
opportunity. Yeah,
in
like
my opinion. You know,
especially like yeah, and we go back into like the reasons of like why do you compete to begin with? Some people do it for money, some people do it for clout, some people do it for prestige. Like I am 100% prestige oriented, and I want to win in the most competitive ways. So I would never, me, do anything that would jeopardize my competition. I'd only want them to have the same opportunity that we have. But as far as that goes, like being drunk is not an excuse, especially being drunk. I, I feel like it's almost amplified that that's not an excuse in Europe because of how they handle like drinking and shit over there. It's a
hmm
lot. You can do it a lot at a lot younger,
like
and
18
you can do it at a lot
or
younger,
16.
and Yeah, you can do it way younger. It's more culturally accepted over there. So in a way, I'd almost take that a little bit more from an American than I would from a European, just because I think Americans are just quite honestly dumber, and we have a longer
Fair enough.
age thing to go through with alcohol, where you could maybe use that excuse, but for sure, no, that's dumb. You're an adult. Act like an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely.
I've drunk multiple times, and there's a time where you should know, like, okay, let's not touch the phone, let's not drive. You should know your own limitations,
And
and
choose
like I do
differently
feel
too.
like that was an excuse, but at the same time, like, God, that dude's a jackass. Holy fuck.
For me too, it's like choose a different thing to accuse. Like accusing, I am in no way, shape, or form like a social justice warrior or like fucking into that kind of patronizing bullshit, but like the sexual harassment thing, like going to the length and the extent to fake that is like a different kind of grimy, in my opinion.
It
Yeah,
is.
because like, what did he
It's
do
like,
with that one picture? It was like,
yeah,
I don't know, I'm just quoting it. It was like
that's
anal
grimy.
Annie or something, and like he
Yeah,
cut out like a
I don't,
whole fucking section, and then he was like selling them as like prostitutes. That
yeah.
was like his perspective. Like I don't care how drunk you are. I don't think you bring it to that level,
That's
right?
like really intelligent levels of
Of
drunkenness.
that's just stupid.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
like a really
definitely.
smart drunk, to be honest.
And then to use being drunk as an excuse, right? Like the whole
Yeah, no,
thing,
don't
like
do that.
that
Not an
people look at
excuse.
being drunk, right? Is like it brings out your inner thoughts. So now it's like, okay, well now we just know that you're a jackass, like flat out. You just hide it in public, and
Yeah, not drinking with that guy.
right.
Did he pop back up, or is he like still off the face of the planet?
He deleted his Twitter. He deleted everybody on Discord and changed his name on Discord, and then had the audacity to
Hilarious.
come in the spawn on Tuesday for a minute. It's
He
pretty
came in the
wild.
spawn.
He came in
Just got
and then
beat.
dipped right out. It was
Yeah.
just what a ballsy move. What an absolutely ballsy move.
He's
Oh God.
in the stage 4 server. So like all the players, they got like a stage 4 server. That way, they work with the admins and stuff.
Oh,
He's
apparently
in
he
that
came
server
in.
still.
Apparently he came in here 20 minutes ago too.
Really?
Apparently that's what chat's
I
saying.
don't give a fuck. I
Oh, I
don't
didn't
care.
even know that.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
but so apparently they still have that he's in the server. He has like the oxygen rule, and I don't know if he's still there. I have to double check. But
Lurker, I pray you guys banned him when he did
yeah,
that then, because I missed it.
he or not he. Well, Oxygen. I'm happy that Oxygen did what they did. Oxygen's not a small org by any. I mean, they're smaller, but they are
they're a
lot of
decent
people might.
size.
Yeah, a lot of people might not know, but Oxygen is a really really strong Gears of War pro team. They're in I think CS:GO. They are North American org. They have a good following in a lot of different platforms, definitely in shooters. Uh, and they're well connected, obviously being in the Gears Pro League. They have lots of resources and stuff for them. So for them to go out of their way and help is really good. Yeah, Gears is I don't think Gears is dead, Caesar, but it's definitely still something that has a lot of like respect nowadays.
It's
That's like saying
definitely
Halo's
a
I
dead.
mean, we're
it's
playing COD
definitely a
Mobile
different
here.
shooter
Yeah.
atmosphere, right? It's just different.
Yeah, no. I mean, this kind of shit over there might be like if this happened in Gears, this would probably be a minor inconvenience. Just to be honest, just because of how the culture is over there with Gears, like shit's a lot more lenient. You can talk a lot more shit. You can say a lot more horrible things, and it's just kind of like accepted because of the game and their culture and stuff. But yeah, because we're playing a different game and we have a different, I guess, what's that word? Demographic of people, younger people, and so on. You have to kind of be a little more considerate. But yeah, it's rough.
Let me just answer Marshy. No, Marshy, I don't support it. I don't support it. He's been spamming that for like the last 20 minutes.
Support what? What do you say?
Sony Tribe lost. No, I don't support it.
Sony Tribe lost.
Yeah,
No,
Wiki,
wasp.
I
Wasp.
absolutely did say ban him. We definitely don't support that that behavior here.
No. But yeah, but that's it. I don't know. There's a lot that probably hasn't come out yet about it. I hope that Activision looks at it and
They
if
realized they fucked up.
yeah. And
I
I hope
hope
that
so.
they
I for
go
sure
back
hope so.
and change it. But if they haven't changed the spawns, quite honestly,
Oh my
I don't think they'll
fucking
change.
god.
I don't think they'll change.
Dude, I'm still pissed about the spawns. He literally spawned in fucking basketball.
Did you see the one day the hard point firing range, the very end, the last game against Explicit, the last trailer hill, right before Leon broke it.
Yeah.
Little B was on the A long, like there's like a little sandbag jump up to
Yep.
watch
Yep, in the corner. Yes.
American,
Yep.
and Snipes or somebody spawned A
Backseat.
long right behind him. I was like, question mark, what the fucking actual shit?
My favorite was the day. It was a while back, but it was like right when they first changed the spawns.
The raid one?
Raid, yeah, where
Yeah,
Wally like
basketball.
spawns in the corner on basketball
Yeah.
court behind three people
That
and
happened
gets
to
a
Tech
triple
not too
kill.
long ago.
I was
That
so
happened to Tech not too
pissed.
long ago.
Dude, I had a sentry gun
Yeah.
there, and like Pepe deadass spawns up in the corner, destroys my sentry gun. I'm wondering how the fuck it's contested because it smoked off in front of me. So I'm just thinking like, okay, he probably got in a cubby. No, and then I get shot in my back.
Tech ran to that corner, put a sentry down, ran away. Both both entrances are covered. We had a strong setup, and yeah, Pepe spawned behind him and broke the hill by himself. Just the sheer confusion. We
Unreal.
couldn't
It's
even be upset.
unreal spawns in Hardpoint
Yeah.
right now. It's pretty
It's
nuts.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. There was also some stuff on standout too. Like the entire fucking spawn system is really brutal right now. But I don't, again, hate to toot this horn, but if this game was 4v4, the spawns would not be so amplified, like poorly. They'd still be bad spawns, but they'd be a lot more manageable because of how much more space you'd have
I mean,
since there's less players.
so I feel like you'll both agree with me on this. I feel like there are certain maps where the spawns definitely needed some sort of revamping, and I think one of the biggest ones is probably Summit, just because on the old spawns it's like if you
Just wonder
died
where
on
it's like.
if you died on P3, fuck, you might as well set up for P4, right? Like you were just not, it
Yeah.
was not happening. So I could have seen a spawn revamp where it's like, okay, maybe you spawn, you know, on the outside of building mid, but not like in the ass middle of nowhere on the opposite side of the map. That would have been reasonable, but like you can have three people anchoring a spawn and one person make the break and get one kill and then the whole team respawns on them, and it's just so bizarre and weird. It
I
doesn't.
actually think that the only map that is played fairly well, considering how the spawns are right now, is probably firing range. Like
No, firing range is
firing,
even horrible.
I mean, firing range is bad too, but I'm
Dead
talking
ass
about
P2.
yeah.
Like, let's say you break, or like you get a kill by like the CT truck, right?
hmm
And dead ass hill spawn outside American, even if they have people on hill. Like you can't tell me that's not fucking stupid, dude.
I mean, we're trying to say like we're like all of them are horrible. That I think firing range is the least horrible out of all of the horrible maps.
In CoDM,
Uh,
the spawn traps you. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, and caught him the spawn trap too. No, for real. A little bit in scrims not too long ago.
If I was to pick a, if honestly, if I was to pick a map, I'd probably say Summit.
Summit,
I feel like
best
Summit's
map.
more reasonable than firing range.
now,
Yeah,
now,
Summit's actually Summit's not that bad. I don't mind
That's
Summit.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I'd rather Summit spawns over a firing range spawn.
The only hill I think is just downright atrocious on Summit is the very top hill, the forklift or the
P4.
yeah, P4. P4 is really the way the
That
deep
actually just
mechanic
stand in the
works.
back.
Yeah, the way the deep mechanic works, it's like you're almost playing the deep part of that hill instead of the hill itself. But that's really it. Like P1, I like P1 spawns on Summit a lot. I think that they make sense. They're close enough, so it's not too far. P2 makes sense. Uh, P3, uh, P3 is a little rough, but P3 makes sense. They're not spawning too far, and you can influence it. P4 you can control it exactly, but like again, you're not playing P4, you're playing the deep. And then again, you go back to P1, and it's just good. Yeah, I would actually agree. Summit's probably the best map, and then I'd say firing range. But anyway,
Well, I guess there's only like one more question, I guess, that I really want to ask, I guess, the both of you at this point. Is obviously I've already given my opinion towards stage four, right? I don't see a real scenario where you guys don't make it to Worlds. So
Yeah.
looking at a Worlds standpoint, who do you guys think the most intimidating region is right now outside of NA?
You want to
I'll
answer
go
first?
first. Yeah, I'll go for. I'm not scared of any region. I'll be honest with you. I respect a lot of them. I think that every region does things uniquely different, but every region has things that I just think are kind of trivial. A lot of people talk about China, and China I think is certainly to be respected. The Asian regions, the Koreanas and them. My thing about China, and you'll never know until
They
we
don't
play
even have
them.
trophies.
They don't have trophies. They don't have a lot of stuff. Their game is scored totally differently. A lot of circumstances to get some of the maps and get some of the sides.
Aren't
They
they
have a
allowed
whole.
persistence as well?
They I don't know. I don't know if that's like a thing, but they don't have trophies. They play a lot of different maps. The pace of their game is super fucking different. It's super more slow. It's a lot more like Napoleonic, I would say, in a way. Maybe you understand what I'm saying, Day. Where like Napoleonic in the sense that it's like I have my side, you have your side. Let's fight over the middle, and like whoever wins wins. That is kind of how I feel when I watch a lot of the Chinese stuff. Very slow. I think the pace coming over to the Western regions might be a problem for them. Again, the Asians are they're very smart, and I don't think it would take very long for them to adapt. But something like trophy systems, uh, that in itself is like mind-blowingly different. If you add it, I don't think it would take them too long to figure out how to use them very efficiently. But just the pace. So Asia, they're definitely a region to be respected. Uh, LATAM, I don't think anybody needs to be worried about LATAM. Definitely not the Brazilians. Respectfully, the Brazilians are whatever they are. If Zygnus can go to Brazil or
Oh,
even
Zygnus
stay
is
in
qualifying,
Mexico,
dude. They're in
yeah.
Brazil already.
I know they're in Brazil now, but if Zygnus last year can be in Mexico playing against the top Brazilian teams and beat the shit out of them on the ping disadvantage that they were at, uh, like who gives a fuck about the Brazilians? Respectfully, Zygnus is a very good team, but
Respectfully,
they
who
might
gives
as
a
well.
fuck about him?
Zygnus is a very good team, but they're basically a North American team. They're basically a North American team. They've been in all of our tournaments. They win and lose a lot to North American teams. We trade maps with them. Like they're an NA team. So the best LATAM team is an NA team. Uh, fucking who else? Japan, they've got like one team, two teams. I don't even know if they have a regional tournament that has like more than four teams in it. I think their champs is today, right? So we'll see how Japan
Champs.
plays. Yeah,
Yeah, like 2 in the
Japan
morning.
stage four is today or tomorrow or whatever.
I
So
think
we'll see how
it's
they
I
play.
think it's
But they
like
don't have a lot of
tomorrow
teams.
night / Saturday morning is what Bobby was telling me.
Yeah, but they don't have a lot of teams, so we'll see how they go. Last year their region was really boring to watch. Uh, who else? Garena. I mean, Garena.
I'm
You
gonna
see
be
you
honest.
see a
Like,
lot
I
about
don't know.
you see a lot about the north. You see a lot of the tribe people image in particular perish too. The people who came from Garena or are Filipino and they go back and forth with those guys. They don't talk shit to them for no reason. It's because there's not a lot of impressing things coming out there. I think you should respect them. They've got some solid teams, but again, their game is totally different from our game, so we can't really say a lot until we see uh, in an international tournament. Uh, but they have teams again that are multiple time champions and they should be respected. Uh, NA, like Tribe's a champion team. Both our old tribe and this tribe team, we're a champion team. We're both of us are to be respected. Whoever comes out of North America with us is going to be to be respected because North America, I think the top end is pretty solid. EU has a lot of their talent available right now, so it's really just going to have to come down to what happens in the international tournament. But I don't think anybody's scary right now.
Oh, I'm
That's
gonna
just
be honest. I feel like the biggest threat, I've voted other regions like last year, this year. I'm still paying attention to everybody because I want to go to Worlds, so like I'm just preparing for it early ahead. If I was to bet any region be the most competitive, I would say EU. Like I think just like teamwork based, they're more developed. Like China, like the China scene or the Asian scene, however you want to word it. They're very slow paced. They think, but I think whenever you put them against a aggressive team, right? I don't think they've really experienced that because they actually think. Like let's say your whole like play style has to change then
Yeah.
because now you're going to be on the ropes instead of like okay, take a time. We have a little bit to breathe.
Yeah.
That's how I truly think EU will be the most competitive.
EU definitely. Yeah, EU is going to be really good. But again, that's simply because I think EU is going to be really good because they have basically all their players available. A lot of them. I think there's a very small minority of underage players that aren't available to play right now. But EU has a lot of talent right now. So
No,
EU's
they
what
really do. I think
EU's
they
gonna
might have
be
like the biggest
yeah.
or one of the biggest like 18 plus scenes that is like
EU
super competitive.
EU is already established and they will be established for years to come. NA is still, I think, 2 years away from the full-on pool of players being available. Uh, Again, LATAM, who cares? It's gonna be Cygnus for the next decade. Who knows? It's gonna be Cygnus. Maybe 11T if they. Shit. Speaking of which, 11T, man, fuck, that feels bad. The
Yeah,
whole situation with them having to
that
play with the
sucks.
Brazilians and stuff. Because I really don't think the Brazilians are good. Uh, I think 11T definitely deserved to play and qualify, but they ran into Cygnus twice. They were actually the Arsenal of their region, where they got bracket fucked super hard. So
Yeah, because they played a Brazilian team and then right after that, Cygnus for the
yep.
qualifier, similar to like how Arsenal end up. And I'm gonna be honest, Arsenal could have won. I'm still gonna say it.
No, yeah, no, and then you get to Arsenal, where it's like like Brian said, they're a team that could win stage 4 if they stuck together and were actually given the opportunity and not hoed by fucking game battles, RNG, bracket fuckery. But
Still, I think if you're game battles, right, the right play there was to take your top 8 from
and seed
Masters
them.
and seed them, and
Yes.
that would have
Yeah.
eliminated a lot of the problems. Because there's no realistic reason that Destiny Official Gaming should be in over Arsenal, right? Like that's just I don't think anybody in any region could look at the teams that made it and be like, why is this team over Arsenal and have any explanation?
Well,
So
It's similar to
I
like
think
last year, like how Truly got bracket fucked.
yeah, truly actually last year got bracket fucked more than anybody ever
Yeah, stage
because
3, 4,
because in every
I think
single
stage 3
stage,
twice.
in every single stage, and yeah, we ran into Truly first round twice, beat them twice, and then they actually we knocked them out. If it wasn't for COD Mobile releasing a last second fuck you qualifier, they wouldn't have gotten in. And then stage 4 came, the regional championship. We played them the first day, first round, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we lost, and then the next day, first round, first match on Sunday, we played them. So it was like Truly knows a thing or two about getting fucked in the bracket. Uh, but yeah, no, I, I, I don't know. I think you should reword how you said the Destiny official thing because if they deserved to qualify, they would. If they were seeded properly and they qualified anyway, uh, then hats off, they deserve the spot. But the way they earned it, definitely not ideal. Uh, but who knows? I actually would like to see what stage 3 would have looked like if the top 8 teams were seeded, where the rest of the teams were, because I think even the qualified teams right now would be different too. A couple of them.
Oh, definitely.
Primal wouldn't have gotten in. Moralto wouldn't have been in. They
No
would
way.
have lost early.
Like, no offense to Moroso, but I feel like if you were competing against like that, let's say the Strike Zone roster, right? Primal would have lost. Like
Yeah,
Strike Zone was
I
super
totally
competitive.
forgot about
They
Strike Zone.
played Truly like deadass. They played Truly in stage 3. I looked at the games. Truly was only winning like by 1 or 3 points in the hard point. Down was super close, like 10 point gap. S&D came down to like a 5-6. It was super competitive. I feel like if you put that roster against Primal, that Strike Zone
What
roster,
was what
Primal
was
would
that
not be
team?
in it.
Do you remember that roster?
It was Slasher,
Slasher,
um,
Lewis, Vitali,
Lewis, Vitali, and Saints,
Saints. Yeah, I know Saints from Vainglory.
and like
Saints and who? Who else
two
was
other
it?
people.
Who was the fifth? Oh, but yeah, I totally forgot about
I think
Strike Zone.
Sunny. I think Sunny was on that roster at one point.
Couldn't have been during stage 3. He was on explicit. Remember? But yeah, no, I forgot about Spectre. But yeah, you're right. I don't think Primal would have qualified because
I don't think
Primal.
Dynasty Gaming would have qualified. I think
No,
Primal might have
they certainly
qualified.
would. Yeah, Primal maybe. Destiny official definitely wouldn't.
I just want Moralto's team to have 5 players that show up every day.
I want
For
Moralto
real.
to get on I want Moralto to leave that team and join another team, and I want a team to actually consider picking up Moralto. And
Look, I meant it today when
call it
I
a
was
day.
telling the teams out there. Like, if there are anybody on any of the teams in chat right now, like for real, look at Delily. Delily was a crazy sniper talent. I
Delily?
was real impressed.
Who is Delily?
Delily was from.
Sounds like a
Oh, what
LatAm
team were
thing.
they
One of those
from?
fuckers. They do they change their name
Delily
for the
was on
e-girls or whatever.
F4.
Oh, I don't know. No, Delily. This guy says Delily is Marshy.
Delily is not
Imagine.
Marshy, I hope. That would be wild.
That seems like something Marshy would do. Not gonna lie.
That seems like something Marshy could get
He
banned
says
for.
Delily was Marshy. That would make a lot of sense because the de thing is
Ban
that's
Marshy free
the
win.
LatAms. That's the shit the LatAms do for their e-girls or whatever. And then they put the name of the e-girl. They do the duh and then they put the name of the e-girl or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, by the way, respectfully, not calling Lily an e-girl, but you get what I'm saying. Dead denominator. Dead
Alright,
denominator.
Jingo. Heck yeah. Let's do it.
No, Lily, not an e-girl. My bad, my bad. I withdraw my comments.
No, but I feel stage 4 is like I feel like last year's might have been more competitive than this year.
Last year,
That's tough to say. Like the downgrade, right?
well, I mean, who all was in? Shit, even the shitter team last year was
Pretty decent, you know.
compared to the shitter teams this year is definitely. I think Gene would beat the shit out of Destiny officially.
Oh, no, definitely.
I'm
Like the Gene players, if you go look back there, they really weren't that bad.
They
They
grew.
were like
They
high
definitely
tier
ended up.
2, in my opinion,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like almost breaking that tier 1 spot, but like not having consistency or the games in their favor.
yeah. Shit, we had a Vader's team too, didn't we?
Yeah, that was supposed to be like Fnatic. It was what was the team?
Prodigy or-
Trying to think.
No, Vader was on. What team was Vader on? He was on fucking fuck. He was on that team
Team
with the fucking
Penetrate.
Zohan. Yeah, Penetrate. The fucking weird ass
Penetrate.
Zohan kids and the other kids that were
And
weird.
you know what happened to like him and someone else? Like they deadass dropped Evader and some other guy. And what happened was they picked up like Zohan and
Yeah,
whatever his brother was. They deadass
yeah, yeah.
dropped Evader and someone else to pick up their friends so they could experience.
Evader and Frotch. It was Frotch. Yeah.
Props. Yes.
Those kids, Evader and Frotch carried that ass to the qualification, and then they said, fuck you guys, and picked up their friends for the prize pool.
Yeah. And who was it that told
That's
us
stupid. The way that the rules work, the majority rule, like that's the real fuckery. And I think actually, I'll speak on this because I don't give a fuck, but Moralto's in that situation right now, I think too. I think that he was telling me Volky or whoever, they just fucking like randomly came back and shit. And like Primal, they like picked up different players or whatever. And then those kids came back and they were like, yo, Moralto, fuck this guy trying to take my opportunity or some shit. But fucking Moralto, like, what the fuck is Moralto supposed to do? Moralto's trying to look out for his team.
Yeah, for real,
How's
shut the
that?
fuck up.
How's that Moralto's fault? Moralto, those kids ditched for like 2 months. Fuck those kids. And then he replaced them or whatever he did. They replaced them collectively. Who knows if it was Moralto? And then fucking they put their team together. They're trying to fucking practice and shit. And then those two random ass kids come from nowhere and fucking just talk a bunch of shit. And now I think Primal might be forced to play with them.
Yikes.
Oof.
So that's like fuckery. But yeah, the Volky and the X-Cal kid, like that's just scummy. You can't do that.
Let's say I was inactive, right? I just didn't give a fuck. I was just gonna
Then
play stage
Brian
4.
would never. Then you would never.
I'd be replaced
On our
fucking
team,
fast for
you
Moralto.
would not have the chance to come back. You just simply would not come back. And even if you did come back, you'd sit forever. Like the Leon thing. And I'll talk about it
Yeah.
because Leon's on our team. Leon was a dick for a long time, and we benched Leon. And even though Leon was better than the people that we had playing, when Leon was ready and he wanted to play, we said no. And then we went through a whole lot of time, and Leon eventually came back. But that worked in that way. Just because you come back doesn't mean you get your spot. You have to fit in the team. You have to be wanted. You have to do for the team. You have to fucking invest. You
Yo,
have to buy
hold
in.
on, Mango's Moralto. Is that true? Is that true? He came back to get the streaming kit and the phone and dip.
I bet that is true, because fucking that's what weird
Oh
people
my
do.
goodness!
That's
What
You
what
a
don't
weird
even get the
people
phone
do.
for free. You gotta send that
fucking
bitch back.
Yeah.
dick.
It's different, and it's different this year too. You don't like Brian said, you don't get to keep the phone. You have to send it back.
Text drop.
And they did that because kids got the phone last year and sold it.
Little bit.
Text dropping me.
I'm not dropping you. Shut up.
Text
Yeah.
dropping me. I'm
Tech
just
is
a
not.
hill bitch. I'm just a hill bitch.
And Nero joins and says he's the hill bitch.
Ass clap that shit. Tech.
Yeah, but that's just silly.
Everybody, welcome Nero in the background here.
Homie gone already.
Ah, man, what else is going on in the fucking COD Mobile community? That's just absolutely stupid. I haven't heard anything else.
Not too much drama.
I
Let
don't
me
know.
do
I'm
the
just.
reporting.
I'm looking forward to some stage 4 action. Should be a good time. And
I gotta work on my firing range, dude. Holy fuck.
I heard like all the teams are going to Dallas, and we're just like in the middle of the hurricane.
Yeah, don't remind me, dude.
That's feeling bad.
Imagine I can't play stage 4.
Yo,
Yikes.
I'm playing Peanut Peterson. I'm in there.
Dude.
But yeah, I think ARP's going to Dallas. I think Explicit's going to Dallas. Tribe's going to Dallas. That's the word on the street, and we're just like,
If not Dallas, I think they're definitely gonna travel, you know.
yeah, feels bad.
No, Explicit's going to LA.
LA? Why would we go to LA? That's
Why?
stupid.
I mean, so like, yeah, the thing is, like, Saxy told them to go to Dallas, but like, you know, LA, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna go to Disneyland, you know, have a good time.
Are they going on their own dollar?
Yeah.
No, Noni, I think that's
Yeah,
like the owner or whatever. Yeah, I think he's affording it for the
Yeah,
guys.
man, I heard that Explicit was an org. You guys are signed and shit?
No. It's basically, think of it like Cygnus. It's kind of like that type of org.
Cygnus
right?
is an org though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the thing
Cygnus.
is, like, there's like some wiggle
Is the
room around
contracts like toilet paper? Like it's just
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not trying to say anything about
Contract.
Explicit. I don't know them like that. I don't really know anything, but in my opinion, Explicit is on the same level as like Cygnus.
Zignuts, you said?
Yeah, Zignuts, yeah.
Dude,
I
we're always
I
on
feel like
Awaken,
going,
man,
I feel like
because
going
he's
to
always
LA
saying,
is super troll.
he's always fucking like saying it's super weird. He goes, back when I was on Zingus, or he's like, explit. We're like, dude, explicit? What are you talking about, bro?
Cygnus on top.
Zignuts. Back when I was on Zignuts.
That
Because
was a funny thing, though.
let's be honest, with stage 4 now being up on the tourney client, the esports client,
Yeah.
like we're gonna play Dallas. Like to go to LA, super fucking control. Like in my opinion, because I think at most you'll probably get like 50, 60 ms. I think that's what like almost Little B averages.
Yeah,
I hear he
mean,
has
I
like
don't know.
crazy good internet connection.
He
when
has
plays.
crazy good internet, but it also got him banned like 4 fucking times.
Fair.
So
One
it's
of
a gamble.
the viewers, Zim, wants to know what you think about Team IND.
IND.
Team IND?
Insidious? That's the Indian team, right?
It's an Asian team.
The Middle Eastern team or whatever?
The guy with the like a 2.54 KD.
I think their region is just horrible.
No, their region is horrible. You got to think their second and third place teams were iPad Warriors and switched the phone like right before stage 4.
I mean, who gives a fuck? Like, if you're a top tier player and you switch from iPad to phone, you're certainly not going to be that bad. Dude, do you know how absurd anything above a 1 point like think of it in the context of like the CDL. We were just at champs, Brian. The
Yeah.
top players there are putting up 1.18, 1.2, like, and we're looking at that like they're having a fucking stupid tournament, like it's just ridiculous. You look at Team IND, and I'm pretty sure like 4 of them were over 2.0.
No,
I
I think
don't care about
two of
them.
them, and then the other two are like
I
1.8s.
respect them for their champions in their regions, and they deserve to be respected as champions. But I'm not going to measure them against their region. Their region is shit. So if they're the best from a bunch of horrible players, then we'll just have to wait and see when international comes up, and
I think a
hopefully
lot
they
of
are.
the games were really close with Team Vitality, which was like
No,
the
but
iPad
Vitality,
Warrior team.
Vitality, I think Vitality is actually decent. I think Vitality is decent, but the rest of the region, balls, super bad.
No, I agree. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like after like I watched a little bit of the Indian team. I even like watch partied one of their major tournaments, and like IND played against the iPad teams. They still won, like with a 4-1 in the series. Like I really don't think anyone besides IND is that much of trouble. If
Mm,
I was just to put that out there.
yeah. And again, that's all just speculation because we don't know. Like that's like we can say whatever. Like maybe we get to international and North America is by far the worst region. Like who knows? We don't know.
Could be. That's
We'll just
what we
never know.
thought back
Like
in.
we just never know.
That's partially what we thought back in Vainglory, Zim.
That's exactly what we thought. I was gonna actually say that. Is like we thought Vainglory was by far
I thought.
not a North American thing. There was a time when people spoke very highly about E, and the Koreans, they were like the fucking deities. Like my holy
Gods
god
upon
druid.
gods.
Well,
Like
I remember that like March Madness style bracket when we went to
yeah,
Worlds, and 100% of the brackets was wrong when
yeah.
Rox and TSM went out on day one.
And it wasn't even just that day. We had entire North American events. The fucking the what was that? What was that event? The gauntlet that they did, where they brought the fucking Koreans over, and the whole
Oh
point of the
yeah,
event was, can you beat the Koreans? like
yeah.
like they
Really?
fucking enshrined the Koreans so much.
Didn't we get spanked though during that event?
No, TSM won that event.
Did they?
Yes,
Just so long ago, I don't
TSM
remember.
beat Rox, and then they went on to some fucking bullshit happened at that event where I think everybody blacklisted them and nobody would give them practice. And then that's how Tribe won the world championship for that.
That's
Fucking
crazy.
whatever. That was the event that fucking Von C insta-locked Ozo, wasn't it? Like the very last game. Oh no, it was the Alpha game when he picked Alpha into Pedal, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Why are you picking Alpha into Pedal? Pedal how hard counters the fuck out of Alpha." He was just like, "Fuck it, I'm doing it anyway," and then he picked it and costed.
Worked.
Shit. I never when I was on a when I was on a Tribe, I actually never asked Flash about that, but I wanted to hear him just like totally be like, Von C cost me another world championship. I never asked him, but I should one day.
It's funny.
But yeah,
Well,
no.
I think I'm pretty much at the point where I'm ready to wrap it up. If you guys are, if you guys have any like final statements or anything. We're at an hour and a half
Uh,
already, so it's
Really?
been a
It's been
long
an
day
hour and
for
a
me.
half?
Yeah.
I
Dude,
did
Tech,
not
I told you you'd have
feel
fun.
like
We
it.
just come on here and bullshit and talk about COD. It's just super fucking chill.
somebody said that we should have a segment called Spawn Flip.
Yeah, I was chatting with Image about
Was it
that.
Image?
Yeah.
That's like kind of what we were talking about with Sylvia about the
The
like alter
the
ego of the show.
respawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some good ideas. I need to reach back out to him and talk to him about some stuff because I feel like he's like a really good viewer to have like
Who?
like opinions.
Image.
From Tribe.
Oh, Image.
Yeah, he's super chill. I love Image. He's super cool.
He's cool. But yeah, okay, cool. Well,
All right,
thank you
well,
guys for watching, dude. I had a fucking blast. I enjoy doing these.
yeah, they're
For an
fun.
hour
They're
and 30,
just
it wasn't very long.
yeah, they're fun. We just come chill, bullshit, talk about whatever. But yeah, if you guys have any social media or any of the team streams you want to shout out, feel free to go ahead and do that, and we'll get rolling out of here.
Nah, I ain't got nothing to shout out. Just support us in stage 4. That's it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sylvia. Shout out to NYSL. We met a lot of great people over at Champs. It was really fun. Thank you, Judgment. Those guys are a really big part of our team, and they, from the ownership side, they're involved and they're always motivating us when we are kind of struggling and going through different phases and stuff, so that's really important. We wouldn't be where we are, quite honestly, really, in all honesty, without them. And I hope that we can carry on this little bit of success and some perspective over to the next championship and qualify.
Jingo,
Hey,
I see
shout
you're
out
in here. You
to
wanna wanna say anything
yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah. I
go?
was gonna give someone a shout out. You know, my two favorite people. Shout out to Voki and XCal. You feel me?
Damn.
Shit, dude,
Oh,
and Jingo, like
damn.
Leon came in here, but he hit you guys with the shout out, man. Shout out to Explicit for getting swept, man. First championship for Leon.
Oh, bro, no, no,
Shout
no,
out
no.
to Snipes for going double negative. Shout out to Saxy.
I wasn't home, bro.
Damn.
That's not even, bro. I was depressed watching that, bro. I was like, there's no way y'all getting 4-0, bro.
I'm
No.
typing all the time. Every time I see Snipes play, I'm like,
Why
damn,
weren't
dude,
you
Snipes.
hold on, Jingo, before we go, why the fuck weren't you playing?
Okay, day. Okay, so what I thought was
You are
that I was
too
gonna get
good
home.
to be on the fucking bench of that
No.
team. This is bullshit.
Okay. So to be fair, they did beat Tribe. So I was like, okay, y'all got this, right? Y'all got this. So I went out like 2 hours before, 3 hours before. I said I'm gonna make it back, in time, easy. All right. So I went out,
Ash.
and then shit happened. Yeah, shit happened, and then I was literally on the road when they started game one, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm not home yet. I'm like 30 minutes away from home. So when I got home, I showered and everything. Boom, 4-0. I was like, yo, what the fuck you guys can do? It's not one match. Like, that's why I made the tweet on Twitter. I was like, bro, I can't even play one match. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because what is it? Jingo, he typed up in Bobby's stream. He's like, all right, send me the code. And then everyone's just tagging him. It's like 4-0. He's like, no fucking way.
It's like 4-0, bro.
You
Damn.
overslept the other day. You weren't home today, Jingo. What the fuck, man?
Bro, chill,
Mo
it's
Mayhem's
fine,
at
it's
the
fine.
same time every week.
I
So,
think
okay,
he wasn't expecting the ARP and Tribe game to be 3-0 so fast. That was a pretty quick game
It
for our
was
best of
pretty-
5 series.
Was a pretty quick series, and
You
And
didn't
then
I
even
don't
like
know.
our best of
Bobby
7 series was
also
pretty quick.
doesn't like taking breaks in North America. I don't know why.
You
Whenever I
you didn't
stream
think
or
ARP would lose 3-0?
oh, I definitely thought ARP was gonna lose 3-0, but
I thought it would be quicker. And
No, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure some like Jingo in this instance, I'm pretty sure he might have thought the games were a little bit closer and it would have took a little bit more length of time. But like it was just like try to put the dick on ARP's faces and was like, just go to sleep,
all right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by. We'll throw a raid on through here, and then I think not at 2 a.m. here in a couple hours, but tomorrow night going into Saturday morning. Make sure you keep an eye out. Either me or Bobby or both will be doing a watch party for some of the other Stage 4 events going on. I'm unsure what our schedule is going to be like for the spawn with Mobile Mayhem ending, but I'm sure we'll probably still have episodes here and there as recaps to some of the regions. Stage 4s, obviously, we'll do it for North America as well, so be on the lookout for that. Obviously, follow me, Zim, on Twitter for any updates on that. Make sure you follow Mobile Mayhem. Make sure you're following Tectonic. Make sure you're following Jingo as well, since Jingo came in to lurk with us. Jingo's a real homie. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.